Buy the malt. Enjoy it. Return it. Let's keep St. Kitts and Nevis clean.
Freedom FM 1065.com. From St. Kitts and Nevis to the world, Freedom FM 106.5 FM.
Now boarding Anguilla Air Services passengers with direct flights to St. Kitts. Round trips are only $284 US. St. Kitts taxes and fees included. Come, experience the magic. Best price, best value, best service. A new chapter in Caribbean connectivity is here. Come fly with Anguilla Air Services today. From the breathtaking views as you lift off from Anguilla to the warm embrace of St. Kitts as you touch down. This service is more than a flight. It's a bridge. A bridge for families, for business, for culture, for adventure, and for strengthening the ties that unite our beloved region. With daily departures, Sunday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. from Anguilla and 9:45 a.m. from St. Kitts, and on Saturdays, a 2:30 p.m. departure from Anguilla and a 5 p.m. departure from St. Kitts. Travelers now enjoy a more dependable, smoother, more enjoyable way to commute between these two vibrant destinations. Whether you're exploring heritage sites, engaging in regional commerce, visiting loved ones, or simply traveling for leisure, Anguilla Air Services is honored to be part of your journey. Experience the magic. Fly Anguilla Air Services. Tickets can be booked at the counters in Anguilla and St. Kitts or online at your favorite booking engine. For more information, visit www.anguillaairservices.com.
Every day we're faced with choices: to spend or to save, to delay or to stay on track. It's discipline that shapes our future, because discipline means making the choice today that pays off tomorrow. Remember, discipline, choice, pays. A message from the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Wake up, worship, walk in purpose. Start your day grounded in faith with morning devotions with Serenade. Uplifting worship, powerful reflections, and encouragement to strengthen you for what lies ahead. Join us Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m., right here on Freedom FM 106.5. Anointed mornings, empowered days.
Feet on the floor, but my heart looking high.
Have you heard that Mind, Body, and Soul is back?
Yes, Mind, Body, and Soul is back on Sundays at 4 p.m. only on Freedom FM, hosted by the inspiring Julie Charles. This is your go-to show for thought-provoking and uplifting conversations. Every Sunday, dive into topics that nourish your mind, body, and soul. From wellness tips to personal growth to deep conversations, Julie brings you the stories that inspire change and spark reflection. Don't miss out. Tune into Mind, Body, and Soul on Sundays at 4 p.m. and let Freedom FM guide you to a more balanced and inspired life. Mind, Body, and Soul on Freedom FM, Sundays at 4 p.m.
Get the Freedom FM app now. Just search Freedom FM app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and start listening today.
Good afternoon, everyone, everywhere. Bonjour tout le monde, tout partout. It is exactly 1:48 in the p.m. It's a very humid day. It's a very humid day. And the Sahara dust is like a tent over the island. So as I walk across town, it was uncomfortable. And the air condition from the Atlantic and the Caribbean was not working as usual. This is Freedom FM 106.5. It's otherwise a beautiful Caribbean day, and you are listening to Issues with your host, Coach Adrien. Of course, you know it is great to have you on my show. As usual, allow me to reach out, and I want to reach out to a number of friends, a number of listeners. I want to say hello to my listeners, my fans, wherever you are listening, at work, at home. I've always said on the farm, on the road, or perhaps you are having a late lunch. I'm happy that you are tuning in. I'm happy that you have scheduled your time to spend some time with me this afternoon. But I'm missing my St. Lucian comrade. Ellis, I'm not hearing you, Ellis. I'm not hearing you. Lucy Mapakatano, where are you? I'm not hearing Sylvine. I hope Sylvine is doing well. I hope she's doing well. I'm not hearing her. I hope you are okay. Now, today begins my service to my people in Nevis in particular, and of course, to my people in St. Kitts and all the other places that they are listening. But to Nevis in particular today. How are you doing, Rodney? I haven't heard from you. How is business? Are you keeping well? And to my special listener in Nevis, I want to let you know I got your message, and my researchers are working on your inquiry, and surely I'll get back to you on the issue, or I will put the issue on the program as soon as we have sufficient information. My researchers do a good job. Let me also say hi to my listeners in Montserrat, in Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Martin, North America, particularly my Lucian posse, my Lucian listeners, my Lucian friends in New York. Now, I just realized that for a long time now, we have not spoken about what is happening in the global society, what is happening in the global economy, what is happening in international economics and international politics, those developments that are affecting our life in a very serious way in the Caribbean. So I really promised to do 1 or 2 talk shows on that issue. Yes, we cannot now. I have a number of things that I can say about it, but let me just remind you, lest you forget. The war is still going on, you know. The U.S.-Iran war is still going on. The United States and Iran are still locked in a tense military conflict, particularly around that choke point, the Strait of Hormuz. A lot of the fight is being done now using drones. Iran is still actively restricting passage through the Strait of Hormuz, maintaining checkpoints and issuing, of course, threats to unauthorized vessels. And of course, we are feeling the effects of the war and the impact on the oil supply and the supply chain problem everywhere, particularly at the pump. when we deal with those issues, because there are lots of development on both sides of the Atlantic, we'll be able to perhaps dedicate some quality time to those discussions. But today, we are not dealing with that. So now let us run. Let us run like Julian Alfred, Juju, the fastest woman in the world. Don't forget that. She is the fastest woman in the world. 100 meters in 10.72 seconds. And she says that's Lucia pressure. That's how we do it in St. Lucia. Today, we are talking about the proposed Destiny Project in Nevis. We are not going to rush it. As to how fast we move will depend entirely on your participation and your willingness to educate us on the subject, if you are so kind. But I know that the discussion on this subject is likely to take us to perhaps, or even free talk show, because I'm not going to rush it. And I know you have a lot to say. I have a lot to say. I have waited. I have taken my time to do the research on that issue. I have taken my time. This is how we are going to approach the topic. One, we will deal with the issue of the what. What is the Destiny Project? What is that all about? So, what is that Destiny Project proposed for Nevis? Secondly, we will look or take what I call a first impression of the project, or what we call in economics a perceived view or analysis of the economic and the fiscal impact of the project. We want to approach this issue with a very balanced mind, very balanced and very professional. Thirdly, we're going to look at the responses to the project. The Nevis Island Administration, the federal government, which is the St. Kitts Labour Party, and the opposition parties. The opposition parties, PLP, People's Action Movement. And I suspect we are going to give time to that, particularly that will form part of the substance of part of the discussion, the responses. Then the core part of the discussion on Destiny Project will be the last one, what I call the trade-off the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis are called to make. I will try to do a cost-benefit analysis, very simplified. We will discuss the Destiny Project under that trade-off. I like that movie, so I put that. I like the movie. I like Clint Eastwood. I love Clint Eastwood. Up to yesterday, during the weekend, I looked at a Clint Eastwood movie, magnificent movie. If you have not seen that movie, you better look at it. It is called Absolute Power. Absolute Power. And I don't even want to tell you about it. It's about government and what government can do and the ills of government. If you look at that movie, you will see things and politics in a different light. It is called Absolute Power, starring Clint Eastwood and produced by Clint Eastwood. So that is why I borrowed the phrase from his other movies. I say we are going to discuss Destiny Project, including the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's begin. To introduce the proposed Destiny Agreement in a professional way, I want you to allow me to say something about the way as economists, we do things. An economist who is reviewing a project proposal follows specific stages to figure out if the project is valuable. The main steps are usually identifying the problem, 2, evaluating the economic rationale, 3, assessing the cost and benefit, analyzing the risk, and then finally making a final decision. But of course, I will try to follow that approach, but I will not be able to do that in the kind of detail that you would do on a project that you have a lot of information about. I don't have that volume of information about destiny for me to do that kind of detail. But I'm going to follow the same format, and with the body of information that I have, I'm going to lead the discussion in that direction. So the economist determines whether the proposed project, in that case, is the best way to reach its goal. What is the goal? What is it that the government is after? What is that they want from the project? What is it that NIA want from the project? What is it that Labour Party want from the project? And so the economists would review if there are cheaper or better ways to get the same result. In other words, are there other options? And if you choose the options, what are the trade-offs that you and your people have to make? And finally, of course, the economists would evaluate, that is part of the trade-off, the cost and the benefit which they will get, and perhaps what is it that they will lose in the process, even if they get that benefit. Now, this, in a sense, is what I have said there, is really the heart of the approach for a typical economist. So the economist compares all the money and resources spent against the total value created. Note that. So all the money, all the resources, all is it that you are putting into the equation? What is it that you are giving up or whatever? And against the total value that it creates. What you get, what the people get, and whatever. Now, so this is the methodology, as we said, we'll seek to follow. But in that case, it's not going to be as exhaustive as a project where you have complete detail. That was so much by way of methodology. So let us go into the project itself now. I thought I had to set up this methodology because you can understand where I am coming from. You can understand why I am taking the approach that I am taking. And of course, as an economist, my approach is going to be heavy economic bias. But I will seek to bring a lot of political economy issue because the project does not stand by itself. It's a project that affects the entire population of St. Kitts and Nevis in particular. The Destiny Project document is entitled, and I quote, Destiny Special Sustainable Zone Development Agreement. Destiny Special Sustainable Zone Development Agreement. The persons involved and the companies involved, that the company is registered as South Nevis Limited, Central Government Road, Charlestown, Nevis, P.O. Box 175. South Nevis Limited, Central Government Road, Charlestown, Nevis, P.O. Box 175. The parent company listed as Destiny International, incorporated in the Isles of Man. The developer or the project proposer is Mr. Oliver Janssen. I hope I pronounce it well. The word is spelled Janssens. You have to be careful how you pronounce people's name. A lot of people call me Adrien, but that's wrong. My name is not Adrien. I'm French. My name is Adrien. But people say Adrien and they anglicize it, so I don't really care, I answer. But that's not really my name. I'm French. It's Adrien. So I hope I pronounce Mr. Janssen's name well. Janssen has been a citizen of the Federation, that is St. Kitts and Nevis, for about a decade now. He obtained his citizenship through the country's Citizenship by Investment Program, CBI program. And that is, of course, as you know, this is just one of the pathways to get citizenship in St. Kitts and Nevis. There are several pathways. And for example, if you are born here, you are a citizen by birth. You are born here. My friends normally tell me, I born here. So you're citizen by birth. You're right. Your navel string is buried here. Nobody can touch you. They cannot deport you from your own country. They can't do that. I hope that cannot happen, but anything happen in this world these days, you cannot tell. But I hope that cannot happen. And there are other ways by which you can be a citizen. Like myself, I'm a citizen of St. Kitts by naturalization. It says you have to stay in the country for 14 years, and as a member of the Commonwealth country, CARICOM, whatever, you can apply and you pay a certain amount of money. I don't know, I think at that time it was $1,400 or $1,800, whatever. I went through the right channel, I paid for it. So I'm naturalized, just like you become a naturalized American and whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a citizen by naturalization. I believe you can also be citizen through marriage. And I think there is quite a scandal on that. People want to be a citizen of a particular country and they fall in love. Well, I shouldn't say that, because if you fall in love, love is genuine, and therefore you fall in love. But there are rumors of people who don't really fall in love, but they enter into an arrangement that they're gonna marry, get their papers, and afterwards they divorce. That's what I hear. I have never been part of that. And then you have, of course, you can become citizen by investment. You invest in a certain whether into a foundation or a fund, as specified by the unit, the citizenship unit, or you invest in a certain amount of real estate, as we will discuss later on. So I said all of that to say that Mr. Janssen is a bona fide, a credible, he is a legitimate citizen of St. Kitts. Like some people would say, he's legit. Now, I wanted to establish that fact. He's not out of space. He's not an alien. He's not a devil or demon that just come across. He is a citizen of St. Kitts. You opted to have citizenship by investment. He's one of them. Fine. Okay. So we established that. All right. Now, the proposed Destiny Agreement and its annex are about 1,800 to 2,000 pages. 1,800 to 2,000 pages. What we call appendices, also in documents like IMF, we have what we call annexes. And there are several annexes. And one or two of the annex is as big as 400 pages. But it is not unusual for a project of that magnitude to have or to be so large, so exhaustive. Because but I argue it this way. Now let me tell you that I'm talking about a project, a document that you and I don't have right to see, you know. Get me right, you know. I have my contact, so I see the document. It's a small society. I see the document, but you and I have no right to see it. So I'm talking about a document we should not be speaking about at all. I don't want to get emotional about that. But in the context of the document, although it is not unusual to have that size and that magnitude, but when I look at the document, and having spent so many years at the central bank, having looked at documents from World Bank, IMF, CDB, you name them, I said to myself, even with a well-manned Attorney General's office and all the other technical people in the civil service, a typical Eastern Caribbean government, I'm not limiting that to St. Kitts, is not well equipped to evaluate such a document like the document I saw. Because the mix of technical skill required to wade through what I call that library called Destiny Special Zone Development Agreement. I don't think we have that. And even if we have that block of skill, we don't have the time to deal with that. We don't have the time, we don't have the passion, we don't have the patience, we don't have the interest to look at that. We don't even read agreement when you go to the bank. You go to the bank and you open an account and you have to read the agreement. You don't read that. You don't even read your insurance document. People don't read. And it has nothing to do as to whether you can read or you can't read. You ask me, I don't read my insurance document except they say something to me and I want to check something. The people who read, and they must read, lawyers, that's your job. You have no choice. You got to read. You got to read contracts. You got to read agreement. But we don't read. And one friend said to me, and he is right, he said, if you want people not to read anything, compile it and put it in a report and make it available. So you will ensure that they don't read because they don't like to read. And of course, the information you don't want them to know, they will not know it. That's what a friend said to me. Now, on a serious note, from my experience in the corporate world, these documents are of the nature that because they are really produced by, in most cases, a team of carefully selected, highly technical, and very experienced persons, each of them having the expertise in the particular field. So you see that one document from Destiny, that wasn't prepared by one person. No, man. Architects and contractors and this and that and lawyers and financiers and this and those who play with numbers put these things together and then throw it at you. What head or tail can you make from it? So we're talking about a document produced by men and women who have developed the craft. They've developed the craft after years of experience, and they know the tricks of the trade. I suppose in the marketplace, that is, and I'm talking about the market, the interplay of money, capital. The capitalist's intention is really to overwhelm us. That is correct. The intention is to overwhelm us. And they will try to overwhelm us with multiple assumptions, inflated figures, so that they can mesmerize us with manufactured statistics, colorful graphs, charts and maps, to the point that when we look at the document, we are sure to be even just fatigued looking at it. So the weaknesses of the document, and in that case, the agreement, you will never see. Now, what I'm saying there, that is not a joke. What I am saying here, after years of corporate experience, I'm telling you what I'm saying is very serious. It's very serious. That's why when I look at those documents with all these, for example, I saw the document with all these graphs and calculations and tables and this and that. I ignore all this stupidness, man. I don't look at that, man. I don't look at all this. I don't look at those numbers. What? I'm not interested in the numbers because I know where the numbers are coming from, the assumptions that they are built on, and I know what is the magic for putting it together. The colorful graphs and the charts and the maps and the this and the inflated whatever to make you understand what is the benefit for you in an arithmetic sense. How the hell you get that? Except it is built on a set of assumptions. So I ignore that in the document. I'm not interested in that. And you can call me what you want. And if I tell you, if you want to call me what you want, I invite you to look at the movie Lean on Me. And that's a masterful piece of movie you should look at. Lean on Me. And you would learn about what Mr. Clark says about that. What Mr. Clark says. It's a beautiful movie that you should look at. Lean on Me. Okay. So additionally, I do not think, and I say that guardedly, but I say that with a certain amount of conviction. Now that is a duality. I say it guardedly, but I say it with a certain amount of conviction. Additionally, I don't think the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party government wants the people to know what is in that document. That's my view. That's my view. That is not to say that they're not the one who created the document. But I don't think they want you to know. They want to know the general things and so on. And because the people who have access to the documents, they have all taken an oath to say nothing. They have taken an oath to say nothing and show nothing and give nothing and whatever. So we just are, as citizens, supposed to get the generalities from the leaders and from the parties and from those who know. But the detail, we are not to know. And later on, when I do the analysis, when I look at the trade-off, I will go in more detail to bring out to you why I say I make that kind of statement. And on that note, I want to thank my many researchers here and overseas, my many educators and advisors and listeners who help to put those programs for me together and who do the research for me and who give me access. I want to thank you for this thing. And I want to thank you for contributing to bringing such invaluable information to the public, whether they are in St. Kitts or they are in any country where they are listening to the program. Now, having said all of that, let's begin in a formal way on Destiny. The Destiny Project is a proposed multi-million-dollar Special Sustainability Zone, acronym SSZ, located or to be located on the southern coast of Nevis, a modern high-tech mega green city. I call it a green city designed for at least 30,000 ultra or very wealthy individuals, tech entrepreneurs, cryptocurrency enthusiasts from all over the world. The city is to be built for eco-luxury living. Now, I'm putting it together in a way that I understand and the way that I think I can easily communicate it to you. Good. So the city is to be built for eco-luxury living using advanced digital and technological systems. It will have high-end residential villas and houses. And there will be tree-lined, low-rising resident communities, the kind of environment where the ultra-rich lives. And green spaces and community areas, beaches, and free world-class luxury hotel brands with at least 1,705 rooms. On site, of course, they must take care of themselves. There will be medical facilities, clinics, and of course, they must have strong developed ports, mega yacht mariners. So because it is built on the principle of sustainability, the Destiny community or city, I call it, will not rely on fossil fuel, because remember the principle is sustainable. So they, as much as possible, will be dealing with non-renewables, renewable energy. They do not want anything that pollutes and whatever. And later on, we'll explain why they don't want those kind of things, okay? So fossil fuel is bad, we know that, and all what is doing to the world and so on, the environment, they don't want that. So they want to keep away as much as possible from crude oil and its byproduct. So they will rely almost entirely on renewable power. That is, they will try to get the energy from nature. So perhaps they will use wind, trapped from the sun, certainly hot water from the earth. Geothermal is going to be a very big thing for them. And of course, rainwater. Now, with respect to the geothermal energy, that's critical for them, very, very critical. The developers' intention is to extract and generate their own geothermal energy. And so basically, what they want to do, they want to dig down there and get the hot heat or water inside the earth. They will dig deep wells to reach those very hot water and steam. Then the steam, of course, they're going to spin that on big wheels or turbines to generate the electricity. So the zone would want a lot of megawatt power, a lot, because the kind of environment that they'll be living in there. And of course, the tech, everything is digital and whatever. They would want a lot of megawatt power. And I think if I see well, somewhere in the document, it says as much as 94 megawatts of power. I don't have the document, so. Yeah. And of course, if that is true, the project, the geothermal energy project that is going on in Nevis, they don't want that. They can't be part of that because that's not sufficient. So they are going to do their own drilling. That's my understanding. Now, all these things are expected to be built on 2,670 acres of land. The land, I saw the artist impression and whatever, and all about artist impression. During the boom years of the construction and real estate under Douglas. We saw all the artist impressions, and people take artist impression and they go and sell and whatever. The Tea Loft by Frigate Bay and a number of them. Some of them are there like White Elephant. So they want 2,670 acres of land, but some 53 lots have been committed, I think, and with this adds up to 847 acres. So they are still outstanding. They still need about 14,000 acres still yet to be committed, but they have 845 already committed. People who have signed contracts of sale. Now, the project is expected to be green-lighted by November 2026. So the project's supposed to start, bam, by November 2026. The project slogan, marketing slogan, or it is billed as the Monaco Dubai of the Caribbean. And that is the slogan, the marketing slogan that is used to promote destiny over the world. Or that is, if you want, the slogan of the artist's impression. I asked a question, I went to check it out. Why Monaco? And then I discovered it says that Monaco is known for its ultra-luxury lifestyle, its mega yachts and its tax shelter. I've never been there. And it's a playground for the global elites, the ultra-rich and the filthy rich, and so on. So I try to find why Dubai. And it says Dubai is associated with, when you think of Dubai, you think of smart cities, tech cities, and you think of massive construction projects, cutting-edge projects, man. Cutting-edge business environment. Oh, that just magnificent. Now, I want to go to Dubai. I plan to go to Dubai. I think I will get to Dubai. Yeah, I plan to go to Dubai. People speak so much about Dubai. I plan to go there. So, having said all of that, Destiny offers, what does it offer? If all what we say there, and if all that we read there is correct, if all what we read there is what is promised and what is going to happen, it offers the government of Nevis a magnificent opportunity. In fact, I can't even find a word to describe it. It's magnificent is not good. It's a great opportunity to jumpstart that local Nevisian economy. After all, to create thousands of new jobs and enhance, of course, local tourism and every sector, forward and backward, front load and back load. If that is true, this is a magnificent opportunity to jumpstart the local economy. In addition, the project developers have added a number of incentives, apart from all what that I said, what they want to do, the hotels and the this and the mega yachts and the this and the that, all of that impact one can perceive can have on the Nevisian economy. But the developers have also added a number of sweeteners, if you want, or carrots. One, they promise that the government will share profits. A guaranteed 20% profit share from the project, and they will divide that equally. 10% will be paid to the government of Nevis. 10% will be deposited in what they call a sovereign wealth fund to support Nevisians. And of course, the other one, there is also the promise of what one can call a direct payment to Nevisians. That is 5% when the project, that is Destiny, becomes profitable. So once Destiny becomes profitable, every year after the board meeting and the dividend is declared, they will guarantee that there will be 5% of profit to be distributed to Nevisians. Now, Kittitians not in that, it's Nevisian we're talking about. Good. And here is the big sweetener. They said right now the project is in the process of waiting to be approved, if you want, by the federal government. There is the sweetener. They said as soon upon approval, upon approval, as soon as the project is approved, $100 will be paid to every Nevisian, including children, payable immediately upon approval. Oh boy, that is a great day. That is sugar daddy. Papa, oh my, we say in St. Lucia, Mama. That's how we say that in St. Lucia. Mama. Yes, that is guaranteed. You approve it, then every man, woman, and child will give you $100. The developers also promised to undertake key infrastructural investment. They have pledged $50 million to improve public infrastructure, including they will do something with the Alexandria Hospital and all the health centers. They will modernize that, and they will make that the best hospitals and health centers in the world, best equipped. I suppose the only problem you might have is, in as much as you don't want Cuban doctors and nurses in your country again, you might have a problem. So you might decide, you might have those big modern things, but you don't have no nurses, you don't have people to work in them. But the fact is you're going to have it. That is what that is the carrot here. Developers will also provide a guaranteed education fund to the tune of $1 million to provide scholarship for Nevisians. Remember, St. Kitts, you're not in it. To Nevisians. So the Destiny project, of course, according to the developers and according to the agreement, is expected, as I told you, to start in November 2026. And the development, construction, and everything, it should be turnkey ready, or all of it should be turnkey ready, because some of them will be turnkey ready before that, by 2046, which is a 10-year project. Now, that is magnificent. If it's a 10-year project, you're talking about the impact of that. Oh, my. So what came to my mind when I look at all of those information that I have given you, that all those information that I gleaned, I say, boy, the best thing to do now is to look at the likely impact of the project. And I said, okay, but even before you think of the project, before any stone is turned, before a shovel of soil is shoveled, just think of that. Even before the project initial kickoff, what we call the pre-development phase, the land acquisition phase, which is the land acquisition phase, the site acquisition. Boy, this thing can trigger an economic boom in the Nevisian economy. I didn't realize that. I just realized that just the processes and the things that are to be done in the land acquisition phase alone can create an economic boom. Say, Peter, what do you mean? This is exactly what I mean. Let me explain that to you. You see, An economic boom always takes place in stages. An economic boom takes place in stages. You could see, for example, I'm just looking at the data and I'm just looking at the information that is presented. Remember, I'm taking a first impression. Yes. I don't say that will happen, but I'm looking at what is likely to happen from the information presented. You see, the upward swing will start certainly in Nevis. And of course, St. Kitts will get some fire from that when the project starts. So what are we talking about? We are talking about an economic impact of the 2,670 acres land sale. I'm just looking at that for the moment. Just think of the economic impact of the 2,670 acres land sale. The impact on the household, the impact on individuals, the impact on businesses, the impact on government business. The new monies, because remember, new monies are paying for that. $400,000 EC per acre, that's what they are paying. $400,000 EC per acre. The new monies that will enter the banking system, so the new monies that enter the banking system could ignite a kind of production, distribution and consumption and circulation. Mama, St. Kitts, Nevis is on fire. Nevis is on fire. So we are assuming that the land sellers, the people who sell the land, are frugal people. They're not going to keep the money under their bed, or they're not going to buy safe to put the money at their home. That they're going to put the money in the Bank of Nevis or the St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla National Bank in Nevis. Mm-hmm. And we are assuming that if they do that, that the Bank of Nevis and the St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla National Bank will have large appetite for lending for productive activities, because its volumes is money like water entering into the system. And of course, we are assuming that the spirit of enterprise, oh my, something new is happening in Nevis, something like you have never seen in years, something little children who are born have not seen, those who are 15, 20, 30 have never seen. The spirit of enterprise is ablaze in Nevis. So what is happening? Because the population is only 11,000, a large investment of that nature, it's basically, one can even say, it's too big for the island. That's to tell you how much heat it can generate. Now, think of that. If the 2,670 acres are sold, so basically we are talking about $140 million that are injected or deposited in the Bank of Nevis and the Bank of the National Bank. Mm-hmm. So that money has the potential to trigger, what I am arguing, an economic boom in a small population of 11,000 people. So this sudden joke influx of cash could heavily stimulate local businesses, increase employment, and fund productive activities. So, but you see what is going to happen? The secret for the fire that is going to be that this can ignite, is what we call in economics the multiplier effect. The multiplier effect, the circle of activities that happen at the first stage, the second stage, and the third stage. You see, money does not just sit still, you know that. So, for example, if the bank lends this money to a local builder, I'm just citing one. The builder buys local materials and he pays workers. The workers spend their wages and at the grocery shop and whatever. Now, this is one cycle of the multiplier effect, the circulation that is taking place. Now, remember, that the original money can circulate and recreate itself 3 times, You have what we call economics. The first round impact, the second round impact, and the third round impact. So with the 140 million, several cycles are taking place. Several cycles, that is the multiplier, taking place at the same time. Loans for businesses, loans for building houses, loans for buying and selling, loans for cottage industry, loans for the real estate, and so on and so on. So with that much cash in the bank, what is going to happen? The local banks, they will have to lend more. But more importantly, they will have to sell those monies, that is the interest rate, at lower rates. So which means it spurs more demand for loans and more startups for business, etc., and business that were dying to bring them back alive, and this and that, consumption, you just name it. At the same time, the Nevis Island administration can also borrow from the banks. So because they can do that, there's so much money, they can do that without crowding out the private sector. You see, there is so much money, there would be so much money in the system that there is no fear of crowding out anybody. So to do road works, to create job, and the multiplier cycle continues. But bear in mind, each loan that is made, the loan money again is redeposited into the bank, repeating the cycle, and the process multiplies itself over and over and over again. The only thing, of course, you have to watch is the leakages and the inflation, because once you have a lot of activity like that, it means prices going to rise, and of course with the existing high prices, prices going to gallop, and so on. All right, but there will be a lot of money. The point is, as the money circles through the economy in Nevis, the government collect revenue, the government taxes this transaction, the earning corporate taxes, the government owning corporate taxes, because businesses are doing well, new businesses are being established. VAT, which is one of the significant line item, they're collecting more from that, because remember, the VAT is a sales tax. Everywhere you turn around, everywhere you turn, you have to pay VAT. So what is the point that we are making? The investors, the people who put the money there too, I forget to say that, the people who put the money in the bank, they themselves, they are getting their returns, Of course, the interest rate, when you have a flood of money like that, the interest rate would be lower, the returns. But the thing is, everybody is getting a return. Everybody is getting a piece of the action. For the first time then, even before, that's the point I'm saying, if all that is true, even before destiny kicks in and begin to shovel a shovel of sun, the economy of Nevis could be set on fire. I'm going to take an advertisement break, and I'm going to open the line now that I have whet your appetite. Thank you. You have to stay around, DJ.
And it's returnable, so don't throw it away. Bring it back for cash. Return your empties to your local Carib Brewery Depot and distribution trucks in St. Kitts and Nevis. Vita Malt. Enjoy it. Return it. Let's keep St. Kitts and Nevis clean.
FreedomFM1065.com. From St. Kitts and Nevis to the world, Freedom FM 106.5 FM.
Now boarding Air Services passengers with direct flights to St. Kitts. Round trips are only $284 US. St. Kitts taxes and fees included. Come, experience the magic. Best price, best value, best service. A new chapter in Caribbean connectivity is here. Come fly with Anguilla Air Services today. From the breathtaking views as you lift off from Anguilla to the warm embrace of St. Kitts as you touch down. This service is more than a flight. It's a bridge. A bridge for families, for business, for culture, for adventure, and for strengthening the ties that unite our beloved region. With daily departures, Sunday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. from Anguilla and 9:45 a.m. from St. Kitts, and on Saturdays, a 2:30 p.m. departure from Anguilla and a 5 p.m. departure from St. Kitts. Travelers now enjoy a more dependable, smoother, more enjoyable way to commute between these two vibrant destinations. Whether you're exploring heritage sites, engaging in regional commerce, visiting loved ones, or simply traveling for leisure, Anguilla Air Services is honored to be part of your journey. Experience the magic. Fly Anguilla Air Services. Tickets can be booked at the counters in Anguilla and St. Kitts or online at your favorite booking engine. For more information, visit www.anguillaairservices.com.
Every day we're faced with choices: to spend or to save, to delay or to stay on track. It's discipline that shapes our future, because discipline means making the choice today that pays off tomorrow. Remember, discipline, choice, pays. A message from the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Wake up, worship, walk in purpose. Start your day grounded in faith with morning devotions with Serenade. Uplifting worship, powerful reflections, and encouragement to strengthen you for what lies ahead. Join us Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m., right here on Freedom FM 106.5. Anointed mornings, empowered days.
Feet on the floor, but my heart looking high.
Have you heard that Mind, Body, and Soul is back?
Yes, Mind, Body, and Soul is back on Sundays at 4 p.m. only on Freedom FM, hosted by the inspiring Julie Charles. This is your go-to show for thought-provoking and uplifting conversations. Every Sunday, dive into topics that nourish your mind, body, and soul. From wellness tips to personal growth to deep conversations, Julie brings you the stories that inspire change and spark reflection. Don't miss out. Tune into Minds, Body, and Soul on Sundays at 4 p.m. and let Freedom FM guide you to a more balanced and inspired life. Minds, Body, and Soul on Freedom FM Sundays at 4 p.m.
Get the Freedom FM app now. Just search Freedom FM app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and start listening today.
Welcome back to Freedom FM 106.5. Welcome back to Issues with Coach Adrien. We are introducing the proposed Destiny Project for Nevis. We have identified the number of stages at which we want to discuss the agreement, and we are dealing with what the Destiny Project offers the people of Nevis. I am going to open the phone lines for you to share your ideas and your opinion, but I want you to restrict your contribution and your discussion to the likelihood of the project, that pre-project boom we are talking about. We are talking about as the project details, even before with the sale, with a turning of a stone on Project Destiny Project, just with the sale of the lands, that this can trigger a boom in the very small economy in Nevis. So I want you to open in the line. All the things that I have offered, the information, I want you to give me your ideas, your comment, your opinion on that. The numbers to call is 662 1065 465 6474 465 0546. While you are calling, I'm going to move into part 2 of the. Okay, somebody is on air. You on air, please, sir, or madam.
Good afternoon, Peter.
Good afternoon, please.
I've listened to your premise that you put out this afternoon. I want to start at the bottom because you speak about the economic boost that Destiny will bring to Nevis and St. Kitts. Now,
I did not say St. Kitts, Nevis.
Well,
we are talking. So,
okay,
would you please listen to me?
Yes.
I want to listen to you, and you must listen to me.
Yes.
Now, I have introduced 4 stages at which I'm going to discuss the Destiny Sustainable Zone project. Am I correct? The first part, we are talking about the pre-project phase where you sell the land, and we are looking at the impact of 2,670 acres of land that brings in $140 million. We are looking at the likely impact, if that happens, what that can have in Nevis. That's what we are talking about now.
Well,
you go on. You go on.
Likely impact.
Yes, it's likely impact we're talking about. We're not saying that will happen. What are you laughing at?
No,
what are you laughing at?
I'm getting you. I'm hearing you. I'm reading you.
You reading me? I'm very clear. I'm not hiding anything.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah, ask your question, man.
Good. The zone is proposed to be a zone that is tax-free.
We're not talking about that yet. We're not talking about that yet. I will deal with that later on. Next week I'm dealing with that, so don't go into that.
Okay, so let me go up to the top there. Let me go right back up to the top.
Yes.
I'm going to thank you.
Yes.
For giving us the outline of the Destiny proposal, the way that it is documented.
Stay there now. Let me answer you. Sorry for saying that. It took me about 6 months, and it took me hell and damnation ever to get the information I'm giving you there.
Thank you. And I'm going to call to something, because the reason why I said this is that you're saying that this is something that is put together by a number of people in export people.
Oh, yeah, man.
Together.
Oh, yes, man.
The Attorney General wants to give us the impression that those information was, especially when it comes to the SSD, was developed in his office with his drafters.
No, you're getting it wrong, sir. Okay, very nice. So stay there. Let us not mistake. I am talking about the Destiny proposed project. Would you please listen? Yeah. What the Attorney General is talking about is the Special Sustainable Zone Act. You see, I'll come to that next week. You see, before, for the government to ever accept or to allow the Destiny project as it is proposed to come in St. Kitts don't have laws for that. So they had to go and make a legal framework that allows such a project to come. So what the Attorney General is saying, that this legal framework called the Special Sustainable Zone Act, that was drafted by him, and he's correct.
I'm going to come secondly too.
Yes.
The Premier of Nevis said to us that he and his cabinet studied the Destiny development proposal.
Agreement. It's called agreement. Yes.
He said that he and his government studied it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And are satisfied that it is good for Nevis. Now you're saying that there is nobody, you don't think anybody in Nevis has that kind of qualification to go through these lots of pages of this document and to come to a conclusion.
Very nice. I'm writing what you're saying. When you finish, I'm going to speak on that. I like the line you are taking. I like that. I'm writing it down. Yes.
So my question to you, do you believe that the Nevis Island administration was able to go through this destiny proposal, perused it, and came to a logical conclusion?
I'm writing it down. When you finish, I'll answer that. Don't worry, I'll answer you. I'm writing it down. Yes.
I'm going to stay right there because I'm convinced that the Prime...
Because what you can do, when I answer you, you can call again. You can call again because there are other people who want to call. But I write down what you say and I'm going to answer it.
I'm going to stay right there. I'll wait for your answer.
And I like the question. I like it. And but just that I want us to deal with it in sequence. You know, I'm dealing with step by step. So I'm not going into, for example, I remember I say I'm going to look at the good. I quote Clint Eastwood, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I am not at the stage for the bad and the ugly yet.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now let me answer you. Thank you very much for calling. Okay. All right. We have another call? Okay. So I can deal with it. Now, the point that I made, let me just go over it again. I said it took me months and months to ever get access to that document because the people who have the document, some of them refuse to make it available to the public. And those people, even when the stakeholders were forced to establish review committees, they established the review committees, a number of them from the Christian community, the trade union, central bank, a number of them are the committee. But they make them swear an oath. They give them a gag. They cannot speak and they cannot say anything about the project and they cannot divulge the project to anyone. So it is very clear to me that the stakeholders do not want the public or the country to know the details in the project. In other words now, the project has different sections. For example, I said there are a few annexes. And just like we would say, the IMF report has annex. But when it says it has an annex is it's in that page, in that report, the IMF report, the annex is just one page or the annex is a box. But here I saw an annex that has over 400 pages. And mind you, an annex is like an addendum or special explanation. But altogether, the total document is about 1,800 to 2,000 pages. So when I look at the document, and I'm not the best, remember that. I never claim I know more than everybody. But I have a certain body of knowledge I have learned from institutions, from studying, from IMF, from Central Bank, from name them, World Bank, and this and that. And God bless me that I have a lot of interface with this thing. And when I look at the document, even as an economist, experienced economist, I can never claim that I can fathom that document. What you would pull from the document, you would pull these things, for example, what will be provided, like I read at the beginning, so many villas, so many hotels, so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so on that, whatever, they will have a marina and things like that. And then the carrots I mentioned, the sweeteners, they are not really in the document. The sharing of the 10% and to fix up Princess Alexander thing and to give them a scholarship. That's not really in the document. These are sweeteners. These are carrots. So when I look at the document, I said, look, it will take a team and government, even if they have that team, they don't have the time. They don't have the passion. And they will not be able to fathom because those kind of things inside there, all those assumptions and those are arithmetics and graphs and so on. When I look at that, I just dismiss that because I know a lot of that, pardon my word, is bullshit. You want air, please?
Greetings, my brother.
Greetings, sir.
Thanks for the information shared.
Thank you.
Last time, that reason I go about destiny, you know.
Yes.
We made a point about the dispute between the two authorities, the Honorable PM and the Honorable Prime Premier.
I have not made any point on the dispute, I don't reach there yet,
No, I know, no.
Okay, oh.
And then I went on to say
yes,
that I would love for the project to go through.
Oh, good. Talk to me. No problem, talk to me.
Yeah, we said that.
Yes.
We said with all what is said and done, we would like for the project to go through. And the people of Nevis benefit from same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
We said that. So the information that you are sharing now,
yes,
we find it very interesting.
But I had to fight for it, my brother. It took me months. It took me months, Yeah.
You don't have to repeat yourself.
Yes.
I listen to you attentively.
Yes.
Thanks much for getting the information and for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
We don't have a question. We just called to thank you very much, and we had to repeat ourselves that we will love for the project to go through.
Very nice. Yes. I want to take a balance. I want to take a balanced view of this thing. I don't want to take no sides. I want to balance it and show it to the public. This is what you get, and later on, this is what you'll have to give up. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for calling.
That's all we have to say for now.
Yes, man. Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Are we on? Okay. So let me just tie up these two questions, and then we're gonna move on to the to my second part, what I call the economic first impression of the project. So that to finish what I said to the previous caller, I will not make a statement and say that Mark, I know Mark is my friend, that his people in Nevis and all their education and all their certificates and all their degrees and all their masters and all whatever, that they cannot go through the near 2,000 page and fix it up and get a fair. I can't make that judgment. But all I can tell you is, having taught at the university for many years, having worked at the central bank for many years, having dealt with documents of all kind of nature, this document, although I didn't have it as a book to look at it, this is a very difficult document to fathom, to wade through. And I am telling you, that is why I believe this document, they are put by experts in such a way to mesmerize you. That's why when I look at all the graphs and the arithmetic, what the benefits can be and so on, so I ignore those stupidness as lying statistics. I'm not interested in that, because I know what are the assumptions that underpin them. So much for my arrogance, my economic arrogance, as to how I look at those kind of data. So, okay, we have 10 more minutes before the program, so I'll go into the second part, the first impression. Now, I emphasize first impression. In economics, a first impression refers to the rapid judgment that a person makes. I call it a rapid judgment, whether it's about a market, about a product, or about a project, like in that case. Meaning that the body of information that comes out of that first impression is not scientific. Now get me clear. The body of information that comes in that is not empirical. It can be proven. So that is why I am going to share with you from on face value what this project is spelling, what it is seeking to offer St. Kitts and Nevis. What I did before was what is going to impact on Nevis just from the sale of the land. You on air, please.
Peter, good day.
Good day.
Very good day to you.
Yes.
Peter, I'm not sure I'm correct. I'm hearing you correctly. But to me, I'm getting a sense of mixed feeling from your statement today. To me, you are saying we are going to benefit hugely from the sale of the land. I understand that. Now, after the sale of the land is the project. So if we are now benefiting from the sale of the land, which I hardly could believe that, because we have to give up much for little, I don't believe you are telling us that this Destiny project that we are discussing and confusing us with the many paperwork that you are going through, and we are just skimming the surface with fixing up the hospital and doing these little shenanigans, are going to benefit Nevis, because these are things that it's not in the project, and it's not going to happen. These are only word of mouth coming to us, as you call them, sweeteners. And so and to discuss a project like Destiny in pieces, it's not going to help, because one piece will sound good, and when you go right in the meat of it, even I might support the upper part of it. When you get in the meat of it, now I'm going to start to be a hypocrite. I'm going to say, no, I can't support this project, even though I started to support it. So I would like to hear you, even not the full details, but discuss the project, so let me discuss it with you. Thank you.
I am discussing the project with you. I think I will go back. I will go back and explain to you again. I'm going deliberately to go back and explain to you again. I am discussing the project. You want me to put the cart before the horse, but I will not do that. That's what you want. You want me to come and say the project is this and that, and you should kick it. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to discuss the project in the sequence that I tell you. And here's the sequence. And that is the sequence. Hold on. Somebody's online, but hold on. I'm going to come to the person. Don't cut them off. This is exactly how we are going to discuss the project. And I'm going to say it to you again. Yes, this is how I propose to deal with the project. One, today we are discussing what is the project. I have done that. Two, what is the impression, the perceived benefit, economic and whatever you can get out of the project. Following that, we will discuss what is the response of the Nevis Island administration, the federal government, and the opposition party on the project. Then I come to the meat of the project. What is the trade-off? What is the cost benefit of the Destiny project? And I said, including the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not changing that approach. I am following that sequence, and if you want to follow me, at the end you will know. But if you want me to put the horse before the cart, that's not going to happen. Is the person still on air? It's gone? Okay, very nice. Okay, so we go back. So, caller, I am not seeking to do anything else, but simply I am detailing you. I'm talking about a document of near 2,000 pages. You cannot just come and run into it. You have to talk to the people in a way that they can understand. What is it? What it seeks to do? What does it offer? If that happens, what will happen? What will happen? I have already done that. Now I'm going to look at the bigger thing. What is the impression? What will happen to St. Kitts and Nevis if the project takes place? You are on air, please. I can hear the person. I'm not hearing the person, you know.
Hello.
Yes, I'm not hearing you.
You're not hearing me?
Okay, now I'm hearing you, so go on. Yes.
Okay. What I want to find out is that stupidness in the agreement still with the 52 billion?
Say it again, please.
Is that stupid clause saying that if this fail or the government won them, you'll have to pay them 52 billion? Is that in the agreement still?
Remember what I told you.
What?
I don't have access to the document like I have access
to... Wait, then, Peter.
Because that's the most essential part of everything.
Yeah, but you don't tell me what is the most essential part. How you mean what is the most essential part? What do you mean by what is you mean what is more essential for you?
No. It is essential for St. Kitts and Nevis.
But you tell me what is more essential. What is more essential is that the people understand what is that project, what is seeking to do, how, and then we're going to talk about what you will have to give up, what it will give you. You all want me to put the horse before the cat, but I'm not doing that.
No. This is before even the horse and the cat.
So what is it that you're saying?
This 52 billion, if something happens and the government has to say, no, you can't do that. That wasn't in it. And they say, oh, you break the agreement and you have to pay 52 billion. I ain't gaining nothing. St. ain't gaining nothing.
I was not privy to that.
Who you're going to sue is St. Nevis.
So, I was not privy to that clause you're talking about. I don't know about that. Please, I don't know. Ask somebody else. Ask the Attorney General's office. Ask the Attorney General's office. You are the one who elected them. Go and ask them.
I asked you because I can't get you to nobody, and that's the only thing I want to
exactly. But however, what you say...
If Nevis make something good, I'm happy for them.
Well, let me tell you something.
But
what you ask,
we're gonna be under the as you said in life. If something go wrong and they charge St. Kitts Nevis.
I do not know about this part, but I'm going to find out. Okay, is that okay?
You better find out because
yes.
Every time you talk now, I don't expect you that you ain't come out and say, well, that is so. They were saying this, they were saying that, but that's saying so. We don't know what really is in this agreement, which is the main point.
I agree with you. Okay. I agree with you because they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know. But as I speak now, as I sit behind the mic, I know more than you.
You know a lot more than me.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I just only listen now and then.
Okay.
But I haven't heard anybody speaking about this part. What was in there?
I tell you.
I find, right? That anytime you have a class and those kind of things, there's some kind of setup. And there's a lot of setup right now in St. Kitts and Nevis. They're ready to bust.
Okay, man. Okay. Let me tell you something. Now, bear me up because you are my good caller. Bear me up. I am going to research what you say there. I will research it. But when I come back next week, I'm still not going to put the cat before the horse. I'm going to go in the same order that I say. Next week, I'm going to look
the cat before the horse, Peter. This is
I have already understood you, Gasson. I understand what you say, man. Gasson, I understand that, man. You don't have to repeat that. I tell you, I will work on that for you.
God bless.
Thank you. Now we have. Okay, let me just take that call and I'm going to take that call and I'm going. Okay, I'm going to cut the program now because we have past time, and next week. I'm going to go into the second part, that is the first impression as to what the economic gain is there in the project for St. Kitts and Nevis. What are the things that we can gain, whether from the labor market, whether from the macroeconomy, or to the government coffer. That's what we're going to deal with next week. I want to thank everybody for listening. In the first part, I wanted to lay out what is happening. I don't just want people to call and I want criticizing there. I want to lay the information first. When we lay the information and then we look at critically what is it that this thing has, or what is it that it is not saying, or they are not saying that is there. I want to thank you for your scheduling your time to listen. Thank you for those who participated. We have now passed our time. We are going to close. We'll continue. As I said, this discussion on destiny is likely to take 2 or 3, perhaps even 4 discussions. And I don't have a problem with that because I have set myself for that. Thank you very much. Until next Monday, same time, same place. Freedom FM 106.5. People say we are world-class radio at its best, and we boast we are. See you. Bye-bye.
The new Vita Malt bottle is here, and it's returnable. So don't throw it away, bring it back for cash. Return your empties to your local Carib Brewery Depot and distribution trucks in St. Kitts and Nevis. Vita Malt. Enjoy it. Return it. Let's keep St. Kitts and Nevis clean.